Why? So the last note about the market is the difference between risk and uncertainty. When we talk about risk, it means we make decisions and we don't even know what the outcome is going to be. That's a risk. And for uncertainty, these things are not it's beyond our control. They have to happen, and when they happen, we just have to find a way around them. So that's the difference between risk and uncertainty. So putting your money into a business, stop writing this. Okay. Putting your money into a business, you don't know if you're going to make a loss or a gain. It's a risk. Because you don't know what the outcome is. It's always 1/2. 1/2. So that means either you make it or you don't. That is the risk. And you're putting all your hard-earned money into it. So you might lose all the money. And you might gain. Yes? Yeah, risk, you can measure it. You can decide how much more you want to take or how less you want to take. But for uncertainty, it's beyond your control. You just have to find a way around it. You prepare ahead of it. But for risk, you can calculate it. You can decide how big or small you want it to be. Do we get risk and uncertainty here? So let's read it. One of the challenges when running a business is dealing with risk and uncertainty. Although both risk and uncertainty are likely to pose threats to your business, they are not the same. For risk, one has to take risk when running a business. This means they take action when the outcomes are unknown. More specifically, they commit resources that will be lost. Initially, they take a risk when setting up a business. This is because they invest their own money to get the business up and running. And there's a chance that the business will not succeed. If the worst happens and the business collapses, it is possible that all the money invested by the owner is lost. So that's risk. You take it in as much as you are setting up a business. It's a risk on its own. Why is it a risk? It's a risk because one, you're putting all your money into it. Another risk about it is that you can't force people to buy from you. You can't. There's no way you can force them. And they are customers. They are not your family. They are not your friends. They don't have empathy for you. The only thing they are interested is in your product. So if you are unable to produce a product that convinces them, they're not going to buy. You can't beg them to buy. Do you get it? So setting up a business that you know that those that are going to buy are not your friends or family. They are people you don't even know. They don't even care to know what your face looks like. They only want the product. So it means if they are not buying, there's nothing you can do about it. So this is what we call risk. So now you decide how big you want the risk to be or how less you want it to be. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. The smaller the risk, the smaller the reward. So when you're thinking about small risk so that you lose little, so the reward is also going to be little because you didn't put so much into it. So the more you put into it, the more reward that comes to you. Do we get risk? Do we get risk, guys? In many countries, it's a story, we don't need that. Well, let's see. Now we go to uncertainty. The market in which businesses operate are often subject to external influences. This means that that events that are completely beyond the control of the business or businesses can have an impact on the market. And I will explain the rest. So, for uncertainty, these are events that are beyond the control of the business. In as much as you are into the business, you should expect anything. Outside the business, you should expect anything. So as soon as it happens, you just have to find the flexibility to adapt. Do we get it? Do we understand this? So they said, which can have financial consequences. For example, a new competitor might enter the market with a superior product. So you can't stop competitors from coming into the market. In as much as it is not a monopoly. Ahmed, are you here? In as much as it's not a monopoly, you can't stop competitors from coming in. So if competitors come in, your chances of increasing your revenue would reduce because you have to share the customers with them. New competitors reduces customers, it reduces revenue, yes or no? So if a new competitor comes and its product or service is more superior than yours, I'm sorry, you are losing out customers. So this is uncertain. It's beyond your control. It's cool. It may or might not happen. We don't know. But when it happens, are you prepared for it? That is the point. Do you get the first one? Consumer taste might change as a result of new social trend. Consumer taste and preferences. Before now we like CD, now we stream online. Things are changing. So they are beyond the control of the business. You can't tell customers how they live their lives. They have their lives. It is for you as a business to find a way to adapt, to adjust to their lifestyle by producing goods or services that suit them. So that's the second point here. Consumer taste will change. And if it does change, you need to find a way around it. Clear? Is it clear, please? The third one. The government might introduce a new policy or piece of legislation. New government laws. New government laws will come. These are legal. They are legal factors. We can't do anything about them. As soon as they come, we just have to find a way to adjust. It's uncertain. We don't know if it's going to happen or it's not going to happen. Are we getting uncertainty here? The next one. Natural disaster. It's natural disaster. It's going to happen. Tsunami, earthquake, all these things. When they happen, how are we going to be able to survive it? Are we still sure that we're going to be in existence or not? So this is what a business must prepare for. It is still uncertainty. Clear? It is not risk, it's uncertainty. Is it clear, please? Unfortunately, such influences are very difficult to predict. This means that businesses have to operate all of the time in an environment of uncertainty. However, the consequences of uncertainty are not always negative. For example, new technologies can provide new opportunities. The introduction of the internet has resulted in an enormous range of new business opportunities. Generally though, businesses do not like uncertainty. Decision making becomes more difficult, particularly when investing for the future. Uncertainty, there's nothing we can do about it. It's going to happen. It may or might not. And if it happens, we just have to find a way around it by making the right decision at that time. So, in as much as you are in a business, you should be prepared for the uncertainty that could happen within your environment. Earthquake, natural disaster, consumer taste and preferences, government legislation, new businesses coming in, all these things are beyond our control. But what can we do as a business? We should always plan ahead of time. Do we get the difference between risk and uncertainty? For risk is within our control. We can decide how much more we want to take. But for uncertainty, we can't. It's beyond our control. There are external influences or external factors. So the only thing we could do is to find a way around them. I think we understand the difference between risk now and uncertainty. Risk controlled, uncertainty, you cannot control them. Can we write down?